read a book recently, and a major theme in this book was breakfast for dinner. I've obviously not been able to stop thinking about it. It's great having breakfast for dinner because you can go sweet or savory. There are so many choices to what you can have. I am going sweet today. I have been jonesing for some French toast. More specifically, I am making churro French toast. Yes, and it's gonna be so good. When it comes to French toast, the obvious, most important thing is the bread. I am a firm believer in there being certain kinds of bread for French toast. It can either be white bread, challah, or brioche. Don't be trying to make French toast with wheat bread or grain. Not in my house. I'm gonna be using challah today. I found a really nice looking loaf of challah bread. God, it smells heavenly. It's just a sweet, eggy kind of bread, and it's perfect for French toast. Now that we've got the bread, we can get going, because what do you know? I'm hungry. Great thing about finding a loaf of bread is that you can make the slices as thick as you want. And I am all about the thick slices with 2, maybe even 3 C's. I love how a thicker piece of French toast is almost custardy inside. It's magical. And like, look at this bread. Woo. So I'm gonna go maybe a couple inches. I've got a couple pieces of the challah here, ready to go. Now for the soak. I've got a couple of eggs. You okay? I lost you guys there for a second. I'm gonna give these a quick whisk. And you know what? I'm gonna add some cream. Some heavy cream. It's a little more decadence because, you know, there's not enough going on in this dish. But treat yourself, right? Most of our flavor is gonna come from the churro kind of mix that we're gonna be putting the French toast in after it comes out of the pan. But I do like to add some to the egg mixture to kind of get it on the bread. A little bit of cinnamon, some cardamom, and some fresh nutmeg. And give that a stir. If you're dealing with some regular sliced bread, I would suggest maybe doing this just before you put it in the pan to cook. But because this bread is very substantial, it can kind of take a longer soaking time. And I want it to because I want all this mixture to kind of get in the bread. So I'm just going to let them sit in here for a bit while I get my coating ready. Give them a few turns while they're in here. This can chill for a second. Get my churro kind of topping ready. So I'm gonna just put some sugar in a plate, some more of that cinnamon powder, a little bit of cardamom, and that nutmeg, and a pinch of salt. Just give this a good toss. Once we get the bread out of the pan, I want to get them directly into this mixture so that the excess butter and all of the juices from the bread can just absorb all of this and kind of give it a great coating. Now that this is done, we can get over to the stove. Got my nonstick right here on like a medium heat. It has a couple tablespoons of melted butter in here, and I am just going to drop these in here. And I am just going to cook them until they are nice and brown on both sides. Got my sugar mixture over here ready for when this is done. And on the burner back here, I've got some maple syrup just kind of heating up, because warm maple syrup never hurt anything. These have been going for a few minutes. I just want to check on them. They should be ready to flip. Oh yes. Look at that. Can you see that? Look at the color on that. These are just gonna cook for another few minutes on the other side, and then we can plate. Easiest dinner ever. Also, the smell in here is just like out of control. It's so delicious. I feel like it's Sunday morning instead of the weekday that it is. And I'm having a good time with this right now. And breakfast for dinner is a great way to kind of change things up. It's not all like, you know, oh, let's have chicken, let's have fish, let's have beef. Let's have breakfast, okay? I'm gonna give this big one over here a little bit more time, but this one right here is donezo. You can see the other side of that. I'm gonna put it directly into the cinnamon sugar mixture that I have over here. Swirl it around in there, make sure you pack it down real good. Oh, have I said how excited I am? Look at how this is kind of just coated in all of that cinnamon sugar. Exactly like a churro. Plate this baby up. I've got my beautiful piece of churro French toast. Little extra butter. And then the syrup on top. That's what I'm talking about right there. It's time. Look at that. The inside is still golden and like just so soft and jammy. I'm having a moment. I've got all that crunchiness from the cinnamon sugar mixture and the syrup. Cheers. This is decadent. Oh, I mean, you can like, that's what's happening inside my mouth right now. Oh, it smells so good. This bread is delicious. This is not a horrible way to end your day. You have to try this. I mean, I've done some damage right now, but like, look at it. Let me get the other one. I haven't touched it yet. Look at that. Look at all of that cinnamon sugar. This is definitely indulgent. This is not something you eat every day, unfortunately, but it is something you can eat today. So enjoy your little treat.